Welcome to Uncle Karl's Crazy Real Estate Stories, where we discuss all the real deals that we are making happen in the trenches. This is no guru bullshit. This is real estate investing in the trenches, from guns to goats, lawsuits, police, and motorcycle gangs. Let the stories begin with your hosts, Uncle Karl and Stas Kostadinov.
Welcome to Uncle Karl's Crazy Real Estate Stories. This is episode number 22. Uncle Karl, welcome to your show.
Thank you again for having me on my show.
All right. So let's get it started with another crazy deal that you have prepared for the people.
We've got some real interesting ones that we're going to get into. And again, there's always something crazy with all our deals, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
We have a few that aren't, but
those are rarity.
That we do have a few easy ones, but okay, this is a real interesting deal, and it came to us because I'm Uncle Karl. These crazy deals, so people bring deals to us. So this is a guy named DJ, buddy of ours. He brought this deal too. What happened was, it was a property that he was trying to list. Okay. And,
so he's a realtor?
He's a realtor.
Okay.
And he was trying to get the listing signed, and then, found out that she was divorced, and there was the husband, and I don't know exactly what happened, but basically she's like, I'm not going to get him to sign, There's some bad blood between them. And so what we ended up doing on this one is we contacted the husband, and just said, hey, what are you wanting to do with the property? And he said, it's just been a nightmare. I can't get her to agree. She's difficult. I don't even know what to do. And I said, well, would you be interested if we bought your share out? And he goes, you can do that? I said, we can buy your share. He goes, I'm warning you, it's going to be a rough deal. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? He goes, I want 15 grand because that's what I got invested in this property. And all I care is about getting 15,000. I'm like, well, we can do that, but we have to get on deed first, because we're going to have to do what's called a partition sale. And we'll spend all our money, our time battling it. There's no guarantee, but if everything comes out right, you'll get the 15,000. He's like, whatever. I'm just, so again, sometimes these divorce situations, people are willing to, they're just fed up. And so what we did is we got the property deeded to us. So we spent $27 to record the deed. We own half the property. Okay. And the first thing, once you do that, of course, now, and this is super important, you need to check the divorce decree. Okay. Because, and one of our good buddies, Dave Day in Florida, he got one. I'm going to digress a little bit and get back to, he got one where he bought the husband's interest in it. And he was searching down the wife, and he found the divorce decree. And in the divorce decree, it said, if the wife ever moves out of the house for more than like 30 days, she forfeits her share. So he was able, for $1,000, he owned this whole house, mortgage free. It had a fire, so he had to fix it. So it's important to read the divorce decree. So, luckily in this, there's no mention of the divorce decree. So basically we own half this house. So we got back the payoff. The payoff the mortgage is $77,000. It appraised Stas for $210,000. Okay. Mm-hmm. But the whole time is we want to be fair, so we've been calling the wife, texting her, leaving her a message saying, hey, let's work something out. We're open to any kind of suggestions. And we knew that she wanted to sell the property anyways, because she's going to list it, but she wouldn't do anything. She wouldn't communicate, because we want to be fair. We want to work something out for her, and we want to be fair to the ex-husband, because he is part of the deal. So we're like, let's work something out. She would not respond. We did that for months. God. So we finally hired Greg Thompson. He's a good attorney. And real quick, how we get to know Greg was we were doing a deal a long time ago. Foreclosure stuff. And we're going up against this guy, David Roberts, our real estate nemesis. And he hired Greg to sue us in the middle of something, which it was a foreclosure process. So it stopped it was a big mess. So anyways, that guy did such a great job suing us. We were like, wow, we like this attorney. I mean, we hate him because he's suing us, but he's a good attorney. So now he's our attorney. So thanks, David, for turning us on to Greg. And we worked something out with David on that deal too, by the way. That worked out good for everybody, because we do. Our goal is to work things out. We don't like to have to go through the whole lawsuits and if bad situations like that happen. So anyways, we've hired an attorney, and what he's done is he filed for a partition sale. It's basically forcing the property to go to sale to court, and we'll split it, the proceeds 50-50. So after realtor's fees, there should be about $100,000 proceeds, and we should be able to split that, and then we'll pay the $15,000 out. We'll make around about 30 grand on the deal. And of course, we're in the process of it, and we're working now. Now she's cooperating now that we filed for the partition sale, and we're going to have some realtors list it and sell it. But this is a creative way. Again, we have $27 invested in this deal, and my attorney, he what he'll do is he's going to charge us by the hour, but not until the deal closes out.
Right.
So basically, we've got $27 invested in the deal, and we should net around $35,000 and on by doing a partition sale. So it's just an interesting way to do stuff. You have to read the divorce decree, and our goal always is to work with everybody.
Whenever they don't want to correspond, then you go to to the.
Then we had to go to the partition sale part and do that. And he warned me that she's not going to respond. She wasn't doing anything. So it wasn't fair to him.
Yeah.
It was not fair to him.
Yeah.
So we always want to try to do that. So that's an interesting way, guys, that you can do deals, is these partition sales and buying partial interests. And, but you got to read the divorce decree, and you got to be very careful. You got to run to make sure there's no judgments against the people, and there's no judgments against him or her. And we had a mortgage statement from him, so we knew basically what was owed on the property.
Right.
And it's something that he probably had sat there forever and not gotten anything. She might have kept, who knows, but it's just a creative way that I wanted to put out there that people can do deals. And so we got that deal. Now we got another deal too. It's sort of a similar situation. It's on Gun Street. It's a tax foreclosure, okay, where the husband and wife had passed away. Again, we had to build a family tree, okay? 6 people were on that. Now, what happened was there's a husband and wife. The husband had 1 child from a previous marriage, okay? So when he passed away, it went to his wife because they're both on deed. Okay. Last time, I think we talked about a deal where the person wasn't on a deed, but because both of them were on the deed, when he passed away, it all went to his wife. So his son from the previous marriage is out. Okay. So now we built that down, and one of the other heirs had passed away. So we had to go get their kids. So we were dealing with this guy, Tommy, and real nice guy. So we have it under contract for $65,000, but there's always some kind of problem. So we got all the heirs to sign, got the deeds, gave them $1,000 up front, okay, and they get the rest of the money when we close out. Well, one of the heirs is a ward of the state, which means she's incompetent, and she's in basically a mental institution type place. Care facility. So what we're having to do is we're going to have to go back. We're going to go back to the people and say, hey, look, we got this property, but we need you to work with us. And they're going to have to either take a discount or take their money once we clear title, one of the two. And we'll give them a choice. What do you want to do? So what we have to do is we have to hire a guardian ad litem to represent the heir, okay, to do a private sale, or we can do a partition sale where the whole property goes for sale at the courthouse. Now,
quick question: can you do only a partition sale for his part?
No, the whole property, from what I understand, the whole property goes to sale. But since we own 80% of it, we'll win at the partition sale, because if it goes for low, we'll buy it. If it goes for high, we'll let it get sold, and we'll get 80% of the profits. We win either way. But we're going to go for the guardian ad litem, which is, you know, then they'll probably get an appraisal and stuff, and we'll buy her share out, but, you know, for full price, which is okay because we're getting a discount on the other, because we worked hard to build the family tree. Nobody else, again, he had been approached by other people. Nobody could put this together because of the ward of the state, because of the different people that are deceased and getting family affidavits and all this stuff. We're one of the few people that can put these kind of deals together. So, so that's another deal we're doing. So the key is on these deals, I want to tell people is to make the agreement, get them to sign the contract, try to get on the deed, especially if you're going to have to do a partition sale, make a deal to pay the money up front to get on the deed. So now we're in the deed, we can do the partition sale, the guardian ad litem, and go from there. So you don't have to totally know the whole story. You just get the contract, start on it, and then get the deeds for the share, run the title, and work with a good attorney. Yeah, that's real important to have a really good attorney that tells you what you need to do to clear the title. And I don't know what we're going to make on it, but it's an up and coming area. We may keep as rental, we may remodel it. We could probably make about $80,000 on the remodel on the after we get it, clear the title, remodel it, and sell it. So that's another one that's sort of interesting, a little bit crazy, that we're working our way through. So, and then we got another one too, on Old Concord Road, where the property is landlocked. It's like 1.5 acres, zone industrial. We bought out all the air shares for $9,000, but there's a problem. Dow Properties, I wish I showed a graphic, has a little piece that we need to go through. And then there's a lady in front of it that has a piece. So we're trying to figure out how to get access to this. Now, luckily, the guy in the tax that's behind on taxes, he's not going to foreclose on it because he said no one's going to buy this property. So the city's not going to foreclose on it, at least for right now, which gives us time. So what we're doing is we look back over time, we noticed that there's a driveway, and that we went back to this thing called Time Machine, Mecklenburg County, and it showed that there was a house on it for years. So they drove up and down through the other people's property. So what we're doing, we're having our attorney, Greg Thompson, again, he's pulling to see if there's any easements to it, okay, through the other people's properties, because that road was used for years. Now, another thing we're doing too is we're going to approach both. There's two people's property. We're not going to go through Dow Chemical. Man, we've tried to call them. They don't respond. So there's two other people. So we're going to approach somebody about getting easements through the property. And if not, we're going to, there's looking through all the different laws. We're going to sue for a right for the easement, and we'll pay them. And it makes sense because that road was used for, or that driveway was used for years. So all we want to do is the right to use it to access our property.
So if you get the right to use it, the easement, how much, how valuable is your property going to be?
You know, I should know that. I have no idea. I just know it's own industrial. It's like 1.5 acres. So it's pretty valuable.
Pretty good.
I think the tax value is around 100,000, 125,000. And it's not too far from the light rail. So we could probably build, we can probably what's called down zoning it from industrial to like multifamily 22. So we might be able to put condos or apartments on it.
That's right.
You know? So, and there might, because of the easement, there might be some limitations to what we can build on it. But, you know, sometimes we just spend the money, we just do it, and we're going to figure it out along the way.
Of course, for $9,000, you hardly can lose, you know.
Oh, we can lose it. We could lose our money. And plus, here's another thing too is, and I learned this through like Jack Bosch, he's a land guy, and some other people, is if you own or finance stuff, you can pretty much sell anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing is, you know, worst case, if we have some problem, we'll own or finance to somebody, say, look, there's taxes, the city's not planning on we'll sell it to you for $15,000, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 down and finance it to them, you know? So there's always some Yahoo out there, and we'll disclose everything, that will buy it. They want to own land, you know? So we always have that possible exit strategy to it if we cannot get the right of way to it. So that's another thing. So
1.5 acres for, let's say, you know, for $15,000 industrial
Plus
zoning.
the taxes. Yeah. Someone will buy that, you know?
I think so.
So, but we'll let you guys know how that turns out. Again, a lot of stuff we just jump on and we're like, because we're going to learn something either way. So if we don't make money, we're going to learn a valuable lesson, or we might find a way that we can get this done in the future. So sometimes, again, I wouldn't recommend this unless you're wealthy or an idiot, but sometimes you just jump in and you just do these kind of deals and see how they work out. And that's what we're doing on this one. We're going to see, now we did try to buy some land from other people, and we tried to go through the Dow land. So, we're still working there's probably some other solutions out there on that. So speaking of just figuring stuff out, Stas and I just picked up these 2 lots over on Grafton. They're floodplain lots.
Yeah.
And so
to fix those up.
So what happened on that was brought to us by a joint venture partner.
All right.
And again, it pays to be Uncle Karl. You put out there, we do these crazy things. People bring you stuff. So one of the first things is once we found it's a floodplain, we got a price reduction. So we bought both lots for $1,500 a piece. Okay. Right. Now, if they weren't in a flood zone, they would be worth probably $60,000 a piece. Okay. Probably. Nice neighborhood, houses, 250, 300, stuff like that. So the first thing is we called the floodplain people here and we asked them, what do we do? And there's a process to get them out. You have to do like an endangered species thing and soil testing. And then luckily we only have to build it up 6 feet. So there's a lot of different really cool stuff we learned. Sometimes you can build it up on cinder blocks or something to have a basement, and then you build the house out of the flood zone. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of different ways. So, and there's also some liens. We've got some decent sized liens that expire in about a year and a half.
50 grand liens?
About 15,000 in liens. So we're taking a risk, but those liens, here's the great thing with those liens is they'll expire in a year and a half.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit on it for we'll sit on it for a little bit, and then we're going to start going it. But here's what we did too. Here's another little hint is we just talked to people. So we're talking to another builder, Jason Murphy with, I think it's Daedalus. And he was telling me about another guy over in Selden who bought a flood lot and got it built out.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so I looked that guy up, called him, and he said, yeah, I've hired this engineer in this firm. It cost me $30,000 to build this retaining wall and get it out of the flood zone. So again, you don't have to be smart. So we're going to hire the same guy, same people, and we should be able to get it done for about $30,000 for both lots, maybe less, maybe about that. So if everything goes right in a year and a half, we'll have about $35,000 invested and be able to sell them for $100,000 and make about $55,000 to $65,000, right in that range.
Yep.
On it. And, plus we're going to learn something, that's the thing. We do this to learn through the process. So we're going to start buying more of these flood. Now we've also learned with the flood lots, there's different degrees of flood. There's one section where it's a lot easier to build in. And then there's another one where it's more rapid and it's harder to build in and a lot more stuff. So
it's like a 500 years old, 100 years old, kind of like all kinds of shit that you have to be aware of whenever you're getting those.
So we'll let you guys know how that turns out. Again, we are just a lot of this stuff, and it usually works out well for us. We rarely lose money. If we do, we're usually losing $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000 on these deals, and we have multiple exit strategies. Like if for some reason we decide the guy on Selden said he would buy them for discount right now with all the stuff, we can always sell them right now and make a small profit.
That's right.
Or we can wait and do that. Or we could owner finance it to a Yahoo. There's always some Yahoo out there who'll pay for it. Because we'll disclose it's a flood zone, but people like to own land. We could always, if for some reason it's going to cost us more than we think, or there's multiple problems, we'll separate the lots already separated. Maybe we'll sell them for $10,000 a piece, $1,000 down. So there's multiple exit strategies to these properties. So we're really not taking that big of a risk.
No.
So that's some of the stuff. Then we got another one on Well, we can't say the address.
Yeah, let's not talk about the address.
Okay.
But it's a nice deal.
Foreclosure. Go ahead, Stas. Tell us about how, because you were the one that did most of the work on this one. So you and Maria.
Yeah.
Maria did a lot of the building the family
Yeah,
tree.
Maria did a phenomenal job building the family tree and, you know, tracking down people and finding out what's what and where is what. But basically, it's a foreclosure. And luckily, we got it through the COVID, so we got more time to work it out because it was a crazy deal that we had to put together. But uh, basically, there was a lady that passed away. There was a husband and wife that passed away. The wife passed away, but basically, before she passed away, the husband gave away his share of the property to her, so she became 100% owner of the property. But she passed away a year later, and on her basically death certificate, it was saying that she's divorced. And you know, through going through everything, it seemed like they're actually divorced because you know he sold his share out. I mean, he didn't even sold it; he just gave it away and everything. So we thought about that. That's basically what happened. And Maria started building a family tree, but she started talking to some relatives, some friends of, you know, the family, and they said, well, we don't think, you know, they're divorced actually. And she was like, oh, really? So we end up checking. And by the way, the mother of the wife was living in the property and she passed away. So that's how it got to foreclosure, because the mother passed away. Nobody started. Everybody stopped paying the rent. I mean, for the mortgage payment.
Mortgage.
Yeah. So and we found out that there's two children. One is in jail and one is in, where was it? Tennessee, something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And we learned that basically that they're not divorced with her husband, so we had to go and basically run in the court system if there's any divorce papers filed for them, and we didn't see any. So actually there was a lie in the, you know, death certificate that they're divorced, because
I think it's the lady's mom was the one that said they were divorced. They
Yeah.
put it down on the death certificate. That's rare that they're wrong on the death certificate, but they were.
It is.
And that's
Yeah,
why we're going
they
after that.
they didn't check, probably because the lady was old. Nobody believed that she will lie or something, and they didn't check. I don't know what happened. But she wanted to get the whole property for herself. That's what I think.
Yeah.
But you know, we found that he's 50% owner of the property. So yeah.
So what happened? Yeah, basically is, so when the lady that owned it, okay, when she, even though she quit claimed her husband off the deed,
Right.
when she died, because he wasn't on the deed, part went to him, and then part went to the mom. Okay, her mom. Okay, so then when she passed away, the mom passed away, her shares went to the two sons, I think. So
Oh yeah. Whenever
I may have mixed it up a little bit.
No.
But
Whenever the mom passed away, it went to the two sons because it goes to
yeah. Oh, but the mom just moved in and kept it. Okay. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I got that mixed up. But so it's weird, even though he's quit claimed off, when the lady passed away, he still gets part of it because they were still married. They never got divorced. So a lot of this, here's the key. A lot of this is talking to the relatives, trying to piece it together so it's not just building the family tree. We got the information through the relatives. So we bought his share out. Okay. Yeah. And then we bought one of the brothers' shares out, one of the son's shares out. But this is where it gets tricky. The guy in jail. Okay. You know, the guy in, well, I'm not going to say, okay. He's in jail because he murdered somebody and he also raped
a boy.
We got the story, like growing up, he would kill the animals and he set fire. So very disturbed individual.
Yeah.
Now he owns 25%. and we are working on buying his share out, and he's being very difficult, demanding. And again, so it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. So, he's
I'm
got
curious
jailhouse.
if he passes away and goes to his brother. We may need to wait.
Yeah. So I'm not saying this, but if he dies in jail or for whatever reason, COVID or someone gives him a shank or whatever, then his share would go to the brother, which we already have his share. We'd probably have to get him his brother to resign.
Yeah.
I'm not wishing the guy ill will, but he deserves it. He's a terrible person.
Yeah, he is.
Terrible person. There's some people in jail we deal with that have had bad luck and whatever. I'm just going to say it, and he can sue me. He is a terrible person.
Yeah.
I mean, murderer and raping a child and killing animals, setting fires. So anyways, we don't know how this one's.
That's crazy.
So we don't know how this one's going to turn out. It's just being rented right now. And, we're going to try to work a deal with him. We may have to do some kind of partition action or something, we don't know, but it's going to be interesting. So we may even have to edit this and cut this out.
Yeah. Well,
depending on what our attorneys tell us.
What I think is, we have a lot of moving parts. Like, we got to see if we can get his share. Then we got to reinstate the mortgage probably in about 2 or 3 months. We got to reinstate the mortgage, which that's another expense, which we need to decide if we want to do or not. And
we'll do that.
If we want to sell the property, we got to wait 2 years till, so we don't have to open a estate file for the mom, because mom had a lot of liens on her.
Yeah. Well, there's no, anyways, there's a bunch of moving parts. We may just have to keep this a rental for a while and then try to buy the guy's share out in prison, and then, work on clearing the title. And then there's a chance that we may have 15 to 20 grand tied up in it. And then it might be a forever rental, that's possible. We'll cash flow a little bit of money and try to get our money back. Or again, we could probably sell it to somebody who doesn't mind the title issues, possibly. So there are multiple exit strategies to that deal. So that's another crazy one, dealing with a guy in prison who's totally whacked out, crazy. So we'll see how that deal works out. We got another one too, another foreclosure deal out on Ranch Road. This was a deal that, and again, it pays to be persistent. We've been calling, texting, knocking on the door, and then 3 days before it was set to go to foreclosure, they said, okay, we're ready to talk. So these foreclosure things, are like, oh my God. So we went and talked, and we made a deal, and real nice folks. Like, they had inherited the property. So it was still in the lady's mom's name. She was married. So we made an agreement. They deeded us the property for $500 up front. And then they're getting like $2,000 over time on the property. And we said, you can live here till we straighten out everything. Now, it turns out we were able to stop the foreclosure. We can't always do this, but a lot of times we have ways to stop the foreclosure. So we stopped the foreclosure.
If you want to learn how, you got to join our mastermind.
Yes. I don't think I mentioned Uncle Karl and Friends Mastermind Group. It's $105 a month. We dive deep into these deals. We do 4 Zoom meetings. You're going to learn a lot of badass stuff. We also have a Facebook group. We got some other cool stuff coming, and you can learn some really neat ways to do stuff. Not everything's hard like these deals are. We show some real easy ways to make quick cash too on deals. But on this deal, it's going to be real interesting to see, because we had to open a probate now. So we stopped the foreclosure. We're opening a probate for the mom and going through that. And the daughter has like a $7,000 judgment from a car loan. So what we're going to probably do is go through probate, get that, and then we'll probably wait that out, because it's got about 7 years left on it. It's got a very low interest rate and not like $85,000 left owed on it. It's a 4-bedroom. So what we're probably going to do is put our own money into it, renovate it, let the judgment fall off. Okay.
Can you renegotiate it like to $2,000 or something?
We could always, but there's a very good chance because it's a used car thing and they don't get paid a lot of times. Because I used to be in the used car business and we rarely got paid when we got judgments against people. So, I think they'd be happy to get something. So we have that possibility to negotiate that. Now there's a couple other strategies here too. We could also owner finance it to somebody and wrap the mortgage and leave that lien on there. And we'd have to disclose it. Look, there's this lien for $7,000. And we'll pay this off when you cash out the property. And then we would probably own it. Now, because here's the great thing, you can make a ton of money arbitraging the difference because the interest rate on this one, I think is like it's a low interest rate, relatively low interest rate. And then mortgage has been paid on for years. So we could owner finance it to somebody who's going to, finish the renovations and live there. There are a lot of people that have credit. We talked about this a couple ones back. There's a lot of people that have money, but they have credit issues. So they would love to own a house, that maybe they'll put down 20 grand or so, renovate it, and then we'll probably sell it to them at like 7% or 8%, depending on their credit interest, and just hold the paper and arbitrage the difference between interest rates.
Yep. And
not have to do the renovations. So again, guys, there's so many different exit strategies that we talk about in the did I say anything about the mastermind group?
I don't think so. It's
okay.
What was it?
We have a mastermind group. It's $105 a month. 4 Zoom meetings. We share a lot of cool stuff and join Uncle Karl and Friends Mastermind. So while we're talking, so that's another deal we're working on. So, a lot of these involved, there is a fair amount of stuff, but I've got some really cool, simple ways. Like we talked about this one lot we bought for $500. It was a simple way. I'll show you in the mastermind. I'm gonna show you how to get some of these simple deals where we invested $500 and we're going to sell it for $29,000. And we've got some other ways that are simple, as well as these ways that are a little bit more complex.
But we want to show you the complex ways because you can make the big bucks.
You can make a ton of money on these big deals. Like we talked about the last one, there's 2 deals that are supposed to cash out, it'll be $130,000 profits. One, we have less than $30,000 invested. One, we have about $40-something thousand invested.
Yep.
So, we'll show you how to do those.
Hey, what about those 2 lots on Newland?
Yeah, we bought these 2 lots on Newland for $4,000 a piece, and the road goes past it, but they put a guardrail up. So before the lots, so we bought them for $4,000 a piece. And Stas, I guess you're working with the DOT and some stuff to move the guardrail back and get that so we can build them, because they're probably worth about $25,000 a piece if we can get the guardrail moved back. And there's a few hoops you have to jump through there, aren't there?
There are pretty many hoops that we have to jump through, but I think we're going to, and it's another deal that you got to be creative. You got to see the opportunity. Like a lot of people will say, there's a guardrail, we can't do nothing about it, and they just gonna pass it, through. But we haven't, and hopefully it pays off.
Yeah, and some of these deals that we'll find out again. Something like this, and there's also there's a road that was never built in front of it. So we can always get access on the front side too. So we have multiple exit strategies. In worst case, we owner finance them to somebody, or maybe a builder will take it on. Maybe we sell them for $10,000 a piece and the builder takes them on, and let them figure out that. So there's a lot of what we do. There's multiple exit strategies typically. And again, we just jump in, do these kind of deals and sometimes we just figure them out along the way. And we have a lot of good attorneys.
Most of the times.
Yeah. And figure them along the way. So, a couple things I also want to, we're willing to consult on deals, joint venture. We're looking for acquisitions people. If you want to join our team, call me, 704-995-5385, 704-995-5385, or on our easy to remember number 704-777-7777 and leave a message. We got stuff like we got data coming soon. We've been working on this course for over a year.
Yes.
And we really poured our heart into this course. So contact us if you're looking to get the course. It's probably gonna be done in 30 to 60 days. And it's really it's really good if I say so myself, even though I haven't seen it. But yeah, no, but
we recorded it, so
we did. We recorded. We went and we showed you the properties. We're going to show you our GIS system so you can see them, and then we're going to have written. So it's going to be really good stuff. So reach out. You want to be able to be in line to get our course.
Be the first one to get it.
Be the first one to get it. Yeah.
We're gonna have probably in about 10 days. We're gonna have a pre-launch website where you guys can
pre-launch.
Pre-order the course and stuff. So
yeah, pre-order. Okay. And we're always looking for people if people have money that they want to invest. We have opportunities. Give us a call. And man, I've been working days straight. I am so freaking tired.
You need a vacation.
I do. You know what? Okay, guys, I was going to go on vacation. I was going to take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. But my ex-girlfriend, who we have non-court order joint custody of the dogs, told me she's going on vacation. So, and I live right across the street from her. So I rent a little house. Get this, guys. I rent a house for $500 a month. I don't have central heat and air. I put all my money back into the real estate game. And so, and she lives in my old house across the street from me. So she's going on vacation again, and I'm taking care of the dogs. So, but it's okay. I agreed. I'll work through the week and I'll take a vacation at another point, but I'm getting worn out and tired, but so, and she let me stay there. So it's my old house too. It's sort of funny. So I'm back in my old house hanging with the dogs, and we're having a big dog party and chilling out. So
hell yeah.
So guys, again, I hope this added some value. Reach out to us if you've got some deals. We are still working on organization. We got to get a little bit better on that, but we're making progress. We want to work joint ventures and do deals with people, consult. Podcasts. Anybody knows a podcast? We want to be on more podcasts, TV shows, radio shows, movies. We want a reality show. Some of the stuff we've been through would be that this would be the perfect reality show, because you wouldn't believe the stuff that goes on. And
the only bad problem is we can't record everything that happens, you know.
We have to bleep some of it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like which is the most fun part.
Like the time the lady pointed the gun at my head.
That's crazy. Okay.
The lady threatened to have the motorcycle gang come kill me. You know, a couple lawsuits here and there, different stuff. There's always some kind of drama, things like that.
Uncle Karl hiding in the office.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that we could go into. So if anybody knows anyone that writes a reality show, we need a reality show. So, well, guys, go out there. There's a lot of opportunities, even during this COVID stuff. Stay safe and wear your masks. Even though that Mr. Orange Man, Captain Clorox, does not wear his mask, doesn't mean you shouldn't. Wear your mask is proven. It saves lives. It slows the spread down. Wear your mask.
By the way, do you guys know that Uncle Karl owns the Captain Clorox domain
I bought
name?
CaptainClorox.com. So if anybody wants to put some I Trump stuff up, let's do some videos, guys. Okay, guys. So again, thanks for listening, and maybe we may edit some of the stuff out.
Yeah, thanks for listening, and continue kicking some ass in the real estate.
Okay, guys, it's time for Uncle Karl to go take his nap, and we'll go from there.
All right.